Good morning, students. I am Sajna Hamid. I am a mathematics teaching professional. Here I would like to show you a PowerPoint presentation based on 9th and 10th class NCERT textbook portion. Okay. Why I am doing this video is mainly intended to help you to understand the basics of polynomials at the same time. In 10th class we have a little bit more regarding the graphic representation also about polynomials. So here online, as you all are aware, online teaching and learning is the need of the hour nowadays, because and as educators we do not want you children to suffer because of these lockdown days and no school and college time. Okay, so let us directly go to the topic here. I have made a presentation from the chapter polynomials, and let me brief it about this polynomial basically. As we all know, polynomial is nothing but an algebraic expression consisting of numerals and variables. And of course, there are certain clauses given for the variables in an algebraic expression. What is it? Clause given for the variable. The power of the variable should always be a non-negative integral exponent. And it simply we can say that a non-negative integral exponent is nothing but a whole number. Non-negative, as you all know, it is a positive number. Non-negative means a positive number. Integral means it should not be a decimal or it should not be a fraction. And obviously, exponent is nothing but the power. So always remember, it is an algebraic expression consisting of numerals and variables with the power of the variable as a non-negative integral exponent. It was just only a recapitulation of all the concepts you have learned in 9th class. Now coming to the zero of a polynomial. What is meant by zero of a polynomial? How do you understand by zero of a polynomial? Zero of a polynomial is nothing but the value, the particular value of the variable in the expression given, which can make the entire polynomial expression zero. What does it mean? See, we deal with numbers ranging from minus infinity up to plus infinity in the real number system. As you all know, there are n number of numbers in the real number system. So what do you understand by zero of a polynomial? Or what do you understand by zero of a polynomial expression? What does it mean? It means that that particular value of the variable in the given polynomial expression which has the capacity to make the entire polynomial expression zero. That is known as zero of a polynomial. Now coming to the next slide. What do you mean by a cubic polynomial? What is the meaning of a cubic polynomial? Or we can have a recapitulation. What do you understand by degree of a polynomial expression? As you have learned in 9th class, the degree of a polynomial expression is nothing but the power of the variable, the highest power of the variable given in that particular polynomial expression. Isn't it? So if you have an expression given, you will look for the highest power of the variable given in that expression. So when you talk about a cubic polynomial, what does it mean? A cubic polynomial is nothing but that in that particular polynomial expression, the highest power of the variable should be 3. Then we can call that as a cubic polynomial. So here a cubic polynomial is an algebraic expression with numerals and variables with the degree of the variable as 3. Okay, coming to the next slide. A cubic polynomial is of the form x cube minus 4x. Is it a cubic polynomial? Obviously it is a cubic polynomial because it has got the highest power 3. And as you all know, it has got two terms only. The first term is x cube, second term is 4x, separated by the basic mathematical operation minus. The power of the first variable is 3 and the power of the first term is 3 and power of the second term is 1. So the highest power compared to both will be 3. So this is an example for a cubic polynomial expression. Okay. Now, what is the degree of the polynomial 4x square plus 3x cube? Again, it's a polynomial expression consisting of only two terms. So obviously, 3 is going to be the highest power among the two terms and 3 is going to be the degree of this polynomial expression. Okay. It is 3 because it is the highest power. Now, how many zeros are there for a linear polynomial and a quadratic polynomial? That is going to be the next question for you. In this slide, the question is how many zeros are there for a linear polynomial and a quadratic polynomial. So before going in depth about this question, I would like to recollect the meaning of what do you understand by a linear polynomial. What is the meaning of linear? Yes, linear is nothing but a polynomial expression with degree 1. Always remember, if an algebraic expression, obviously combination of numerals and variables, and if the highest power of the particular expression or the particular variable is 1, then we call it as a linear polynomial. So here the question is, how many zeros are there for a linear polynomial? Always remember, a linear polynomial will have only one zero. So 0 we always define or calculate depending upon the power of the variable given in the expression. Since the power of the linear polynomial is always going to be 1, it can have only one value from the real number system. So a linear polynomial can have only one zero. That means there is one and only one value from the real number system which has a capacity to make that particular linear polynomial, entire linear polynomial, 0. Right? So if that is the case, how many zeros will be there for a quadratic polynomial? How many zeros will be there for a quadratic polynomial? Quadratic, we know it is a polynomial expression with a degree 2. Exactly. So a linear means degree 1 and quadratic means degree 2. A polynomial expression with the highest power of the variable as 2, we call it as a quadratic polynomial. Since we have seen just now, if it is a linear polynomial, we know the power of the variable is 1. And we have seen it can have only one zero. If that is the case, if it is going to be a quadratic polynomial, that means the power of the variable is 2, and how many zeros are possible in that case? There can be 2 zeros for a quadratic polynomial. For example, I can give you an example. If x square is equal to 4 is a quadratic expression. X square minus 4 is a quadratic expression. Or we will come to the equation later after completing the quadratic polynomial only. Okay. Now I will give you another example here. See, just go through this slide. There is one and only one zero for a linear polynomial and two zeros for a quadratic polynomial. Linear means 1, quadratic means 2, so there should be 2 zeros for the quadratic polynomial. Yes, if so, how many zeros should be there for a cubic polynomial? Yes, a cubic polynomial should have 3 zeros. Right. Now, the graph of a cubic polynomial will intersect the x-axis at 3 distinct points. See, after learning this, you have to deal with how the graph of a linear polynomial, a quadratic polynomial and a cubic polynomial look like if you draw it, or if you represent, or if you plot the points on a graph paper. See, the graph of a cubic polynomial will intersect the x-axis at 3 distinct points. The x-coordinate of those points are going to be the zeros of the polynomial. In the sense, those are the values which can make the entire polynomial expression 0. See, look into this question. How many zeros are there in the graph of a cubic polynomial shown in the figure? As you can see very clearly here, see, on towards the negative direction of the x-axis. See, x-axis direction stretching from minus infinity up to plus infinity. Towards the negative direction of the x-axis, you can see here the graph touches at minus 1. So this is a coordinate where the point is minus 1, 0. Because we know that the y-coordinate of all points on the x-axis will be 0. So minus 1, if you substitute in this polynomial expression, we can see the third degree polynomial expression here, 2x cube minus 3x square minus 3x plus 2. If you substitute minus 1 here, just check whether the entire expression is going to be 0 or not. We know that minus 1 cube is going to be minus 1. So minus 1 into 2 will be minus 2. Minus 3 into 1 will be minus 5. Minus 5. Minus 3 into minus 1 will be plus 3. So minus 5 plus 3 will be minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 is going to be 0. So this minus 1, 0, the coordinate, or the x value minus 1 has the capacity to make this entire third degree or the cubic polynomial expression 0. So you can confidently say that minus 1, 0 is a 0 for this cubic polynomial. Now on y-axis also it is touching, but we don't have to bother about y-axis points. Now again coming down, we can see here towards the positive direction of the x-axis, the graph touches at 0.50. 0.5 is nothing but half. So if you substitute for x half value here, definitely you can see that the entire expression is going to be 0. Now coming back again here, you have another 0 here, 2 comma 0 is a coordinate. You just substitute 2 here for x. So what is x cube? It is going to be 8. 8 into 2, 16. 16 minus 3 into 4, 12. That is going to be 4. 4 minus 6 is minus 2. Minus 2 plus 2 will give you 0. So we have seen here minus 1, 0.5 and 2, that is x is equal to minus 1, x is equal to 0.5 and x is equal to 2 are the three zeros of this third degree polynomial expression or this cubic polynomial. Is it clear for you? So how can we find out the zeros of a particular polynomial expression given? If it is going to be a linear polynomial, it can have only one 0. If it is a quadratic polynomial, it should have 2 zeros. And if it is a third degree polynomial or a cubic polynomial, it should have 3 zeros. Now just read this. Since the graph intersects at 3 distinct points, the x-coordinate of all these points give the zeros of the polynomials. I think it's clear for you now. Now just look into this slide. How many zeros are there for each? See the first one. The first one, see, you can see here, it is touching at minus 3, 0. It is again touching at minus 1, 0. It is touching at 2, 0. And it is touching at 5, 0. So you can have a guess that this is going to be a 4 degree polynomial expression, because since there are 4 zeros here, all these points you can see here, these are the zeros of the fourth degree polynomial expression. I have not given the expression here, but depending upon the number of zeros, you can have a guess that the polynomial is of which degree. So since there are 4 zeros given here, you can confidently say that there are 4 zeros for this polynomial expression, and it is obviously a fourth degree polynomial expression. Coming to the second graph shown here, we can very clearly see that the graph of this polynomial expression is touching at minus 4, 0, minus 2, 0, and obviously at 1.5, 0. So what does it mean? Not 1.5, it is 0, 1, 0, yeah, 0 point. It is beyond that. It is not exactly 1 point. Okay, so these are the three zeros which have the potential to make the given third degree polynomial expression 0. Okay, so there are 3 zeros, means it is going to be a cubic polynomial expression. Now, so I hope the slides which I have made here for you students to make the concepts a little bit more clearer will be of great useful for you. So if you have any doubts and queries,